I could have been on the brink of losing it all just to prove I wasn't losing nothing. And I feel many of us fall victim to idolizing social media. Well, if I bought more expensive stuff, I would attract more expensive men. No, tomatoes, no. I almost stopped asking God for strength because I heard God say, oh, you're going to be strong, huh? Don't let God show you the hard way that what you want is not what you need. I was trying to make my enemies my footstool on my own. Did y'all see me just hit myself in the face with the microphone? Ask yourself, how would I be living if Instagram, well, social media in general didn't exist?
The internet never gonna understand why I pray to you. Lord, please forgive me, I'll do things that ain't okay with you.
Hey y'all, I am Dime and welcome back to another episode of Feel Heard, the podcast. Some episodes of this podcast will have a special guest, but today you get me. You don't see two chairs here. You get me today. Clap. Oh my gosh, stop it. I said stop. Thank you. Let's get right into this topic. As you see on your screen, the idolization of validation, what I call being Instagrammed. Idolatry is the worship of something or someone other than God. And I feel many of us fall victim to idolizing social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok. It doesn't matter the platform. And when idolizing social media platforms, you start to idolize the people on it as well. And if you are trying to be like people around you, if you are trying to live like the people you see on Instagram, you have been Instagrammed. He gifted them with those gifts. Sometimes it might not even be God behind some of the stuff that you see on social media. Okay, enough of that. All right. Seeking validation is basically wanting approval or affirmations or love shown to you through the people around you. Wanting a congratulations, wanting a pat on the back, and yearning for it, feeding for it. Like, why is nobody saying congratulations to me? Why is nobody proud of me? Seeking validation from the ones that you are around in order to feel better about yourself. When that is idolizing validation, you should only want that, hey, good job, well done from God. You should not need that or even want that. Of course we want it. We're human. We do want that. But you should not need that in order to keep pushing in life, in order to keep going, in order to keep doing better. You should, as long as you do good, you serving, you doing everything you need to do that God has put in your purpose. As long as you're doing those things, you're going to get that well done from the only person that can judge you. And that's all that's going to matter when this earth crumbles into pieces one day. Just looking around, I can see this house now in dust. Oh my gosh, I can see me as dust. I don't want to see it soon, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Save me. But I have looked at my life. I've reflected of life. I've surrendered to Jesus Christ. And when I ask God to show me, like, that's something that I would tell everyone to do. Just pray about it. Be like, God, show me how you view me. And God told me that I was a materialistic, validation needed, money hungry. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing myself apart now. Y'all in my business. I'm sorry, God, I put them in our business. He told me to tell y'all this, though. This is why I'm here now. Like, this was the second episode because I feel like it was just so important to speak on the validation, the idolization of validation. I've been on this earth 27 years, almost 28, period. Thank you, Jesus. I've been on this earth almost 28 years. And I feel like I always knew my worth. Like, you know how to be like, know your worth and add tax. Yeah, I added more on more. I tripled the tax. I quadrupled the tax. I just feel like I always knew my worth. And what I thought I knew as my worth, God looked at as worthless. And now I looked at as worthless. It's worthless. It's meaningless. Like, everything I once thought was worth anything has now turned into dust in regards of how I think. It was nothing but flesh talking. I felt like because my house was bigger and better, I was worth more. My car is better, I'm worth more. My shoes are designer, my bags are designer, my jewelry is designer. I felt like I was worth more. Yes, those things cost more, but it doesn't make you worth more. I wanted people to view me as being worth more. If I look expensive, I am expensive. But no man better not come and work. Where is the money? I can't believe you just walked up to me and you see I got on this Chanel bag. Get away from me. You see this bag I got on? And you gonna talk to me? Exactly. It sounds insane. And that's how I looked at life. I feel like, okay, well, if I bought more expensive stuff, I would attract more expensive men, expensive friends, expensive everything. That's honestly how I thought. And that's how a lot of people think. And that's what I call being Instagrammed. It's not because of the things that you have that makes you worth more. It's because when you view people with those things, you feel like they are worth more. You feel like because you see them with a nice car, a nice house, nice items, you feel like, oh my gosh, they are worth more. That's why BBL culture is such a thing. And I'm not against surgery. I got a tummy tuck, okay? That was that little girl. My skin got real loose, couldn't work it out. So I got it worked on. Thank you, Jesus, for giving you the funds to do so. But BBL culture is basically people who want to get their body done to be attractive to people who have more money in hopes that they get money spent on them because they look good. But that's BBL culture is just really culture now. People feel like because of the things that we wear, that's what we are defined as, and that's what people will see us as. And because people do that, a lot of people do say, oh, she looks expensive, or she looks bougie, or oh, she look like she too good for X, Y, and Z because of the things you wear. So people judge people negatively and positively based off what you do and don't have. And you really can't do nothing about it. But deciding to dress a certain way and do certain things because you want to be perceived as someone who is worth more and attract people that are worth more, it's only because you've always looked at people with the items you bought, with the things you have, as people that's worth more. And granted, I know I'm saying that as someone who has been the one with the most of the times. I feel like I've always had the most money in regards of friends and family. I've always been doing more. I've been an entrepreneur since 2017, 2018, fully. And because I've always been the one doing more, I have no idea what made me feel like people were around me because of it. Because that's not true. I actually was more afraid of building new relationships because of the things I had than hanging out with old friends. I never felt like my old friends were around me just because of the nice house, the nice car. But I did feel like people expected me to do better and better, to have more and more. I feel like because I was the one like everybody looked up to, I've always had the applause, the congratulations, the I see what you're doing, I love what you're doing. People always were sending me paragraphs of affirmations and showing love and just pouring into me. I wouldn't call it pouring into me, but they were just showing me love. And in my head, I'm like, it's only because I'm doing good. I have to do better. If I fall off, I'm not going to get these texts. I'm not going to get these words of affirmations if I fall off. You got to do better, do better. You are a role model to the people around you. Do better, do better. And that's where I lost the plot. And when you lose the plot and your purpose is only tied to God. So if you lose your purpose, you lost God. If you start straying away on another path, you then got off on 270 instead of 64. I'm sorry, I'm speaking in St. Louis. I'm speaking in St. Louis. If you get off on the wrong highway, that detour is going to be something. And I hate driving. But surrendering my life over to Jesus Christ was getting on a plane. I could have been in my car. I'm sorry, I love a reference. I could have been in my car searching GPS to get back to my purpose, to get back to my destination. In driving, once you drive far away, the detour is even further. It takes you a while to get back, but once you surrender your life over to Jesus Christ, getting on that plane, you get on the plane. That drive is about 6 hours. That plane ride is about an hour, 58 minutes. Now I'm talking about going from St. Louis to Chicago. That's a 5-hour drive. But on the plane, it's like 48 minutes. So that's how it is. When you take a detour of not knowing where you're going and trying to find your purpose on your own and get to that destination that you know is there. Because what you have for yourself or what you want in life and those desires that are in your heart, it's there. Regardless if you get there or not, it's there for you to be able to get to it. But if you are not seeking God, if God is not in that pathway, look, they was in that wilderness for 40 years and they were supposed to be there for what, 11 days? It don't matter. 11 days and 40. Oh, I uncrossed my legs. I was gonna get real unladylike. It was blasphemous, okay? But you don't want to lose the plot by seeking validation from people who don't matter. You cannot. You will lose the money God gave you for rent for a bag because you can't have them see you in it twice. You have to start to ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Ask yourself, how would I be living if Instagram, social media in general didn't exist? How would my living room look if I didn't have Pinterest? How would my bedroom look? What clothes would I wear? What car would I have? If I did not have social media to basically tell me or influence me into buying certain things, would I travel as much as I do? And when I travel, would I seek the love of the country that the people who live there have? Am I actually touring this country because I want to see what is going on, see what the people do, see what it's like, see their history? Or am I going as an aesthetic? Is my living room an aesthetic? Is my dress, my wardrobe an aesthetic? I was never the girl who wore Miss Me jeans and Jordans in high school. I was going to the thrift store and I still won best dressed. And I got money and started going designer crazy. And I started looking crazy. I'd be looking at my pictures like, girl, that was so boring. Like my outfits when I got money were so boring. Boo. Come on. Add the booze. No, tomatoes, no. That's how I literally felt once I started like wearing designer items and all this other stuff. I lost so much money for validation. I needed people to see that the problems I was facing, the things that I was going through wasn't stopping the motion. It wasn't stopping the money. Like the money was still coming. You want to see how? Look at this bag. Look at this neck. Look at this. Yep, I was seeking validation. I was trying to make my enemies my footstool on my own. And that's not my job. I was trying to prove to people that I felt did me wrong, that I still had it going on and they couldn't stop nothing. And I spent a lot of money doing so. I thank God I turned my life around. I thank God turned me around when he did, because I could have been on the brink of losing it all just to prove I wasn't losing nothing. Let's get into some characters in the Bible who messed up by seeking that validation. And they messed up. Some, God forgave. God turned around. Others, God snatched that necklace like T.I. did. No. Took the king. Look, let's get into it, y'all. Let me just start off by saying that I just began reading my Bible from the beginning in chronological order in September of 2024. I'm currently on the book of Isaiah. I will not be speaking about any chapter of any book. I will not be speaking about any book of the Bible that I have not read for myself. So from Isaiah and before, I got you. New Testament, I ain't on yet. I ain't on there yet. I ain't seen Jesus yet. I see him now. Lord, you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. But I haven't got into Jesus story, Peter, Paul. Like I haven't got into none of that yet. So I am speaking on from what I read. Okay, this is not a Google search. Thank you. But let's start off with Saul. Saul was the first king of Israel. Yes. Stop the clap. Saul messed up real bad. Imagine being the first king of Israel. God ordained, God anointed. God made you the first king of his promised land. and you decide that the validation from the people was more important than the man who made you in life and made you the king. You wanted, I keep saying you, Saul wanted to do what the people wanted to make them happy. So they looked at him as the best king, a great king. Everything he do, he could do no wrong. He wanted people to clap for him and validate him. Thank you, Saul, for doing what we wanted. But it wasn't what God wanted. And because it wasn't what God wanted, and Saul was so rebellious, Saul was like, you made me the king for a reason. Like, you gotta trust me with these decisions. That's why you gave this to me. My bad. Anyways, back to the people. Y'all clapping for me. Thank you. Saul got big-headed. And Saul got replaced. Imagine your purpose getting taken from you. Not taken from you. Imagine God removing your purpose from you all because you were rebellious and doing what he needed you to do. That's how I felt about this podcast. I didn't want to do this podcast at first because I'm such an entrepreneur. I'm used to packing orders and servicing people, la, la, la. God don't care about that. And neither do I now. Thank you, Jesus. Neither do I now. Because God could have easily put somebody else in this chair. And when God would have put somebody else in the chair, I would have lost my purpose. The things I desire in my heart, God could easily give me through this, through whatever. Through whatever, God can give me the desires of my heart. But when you hear that voice in your head that you know that's not steering you wrong, that's not putting you in a bad predicament, you listen to it. Saul and God was close. Saul knew God's voice and he ignored him. And God snatched that chain. He snatched that crown and gave it to somebody else and gave it to David, who we know is King David, David and Goliath. Look, I go into me learning about the Bible and maybe another podcast, but King David also sought validation at a point in his reign as king. But the most interesting thing about going from King Saul to King David is the fact that King David was anointed as king, then brought to Saul to play the lyre. Look, I don't know which word. I think it's the lyre. This word.
Liar.
Yep. He was playing the lyre for him to help him sleep because he was having all these terrible nightmares. And it really just shows that your replacement is closer than you think. Imagine the man who playing this instrument that's helping you sleep better at night is the one that's there to replace you. Imagine that. All because you didn't listen. Then you have King David. King David was great. God really loved King David. He sought validation towards like the end of his reign when he did a census. God didn't want a census to be taken because God needed King David and really everybody to know that it don't matter how many people that you have. Y'all winning wars because of me. Y'all eating because of me. It don't matter how much money you have. It don't matter what's going on in your life. Everything that's going on in your life is happening because of me. So King David wanted to see how many people was in his army. He wanted to see how many people was in the army, basically because he wanted to see how strong they were. That's seeking validation through man. You winning all these wars. All these people trying to they was out, they was trying to get David, they wanted David gone. And God saved him every time. You had the audacity to go and get a census of all the soldiers y'all had and everything. And y'all know God. Because King David ruined generations and a family by doing that. He ruined other people's lives by doing that. And I'm sure he sat with that guilt as well. But guess what God did? Yeah. Y'all know, God don't do nothing little. He gonna let you know that it's him that did something off the wall and crazy. God killed thousands of the soldiers. I think it was over 50,000. I want to say it's around 70,000, but yeah, I know I'm new here. Like I said, I only read the Bible once. People that read it 15 times. That's about 50. Somebody who read the Bible 15 times, that's about 15 years. All right, anyway, sorry. But God sent a plague that killed over 50,000 soldiers. Now you don't know the number no more. You thought you knew how many soldiers you had. Now I just took away thousands of them because you disobeyed me. That's somebody's brother, somebody's son, somebody's father, somebody's grandfather that was wiped away by a plague, all because David disobeyed God. There are consequences for seeking validation. And those consequences doesn't just affect you. They affect other people. Saul's consequences affected his family dynamic. Like now his son Jonathan wanted to be king so bad, not happening, John. Not happening. King David's disobedience and seeking validation destroy other people's family. Sick, sad. And I'm gonna go into one more person before I end this podcast, and that's Solomon. Solomon is King David's son and the third king. So these are three kings that sought validation. Why? Because they are human. You do it too because you're a human. I've done it because I am human. And it probably won't even stop here. But I will repent. And I will ask God to show me what I'm doing. He showed me that I was seeking validation before, and now I'm here. So ask God to show you as well. King Solomon, like I said, he's the third king of Israel, King David's son. Solomon asked God for one thing. Solomon asked for wisdom to lead Israel the correct way. That's all he asked for. And because he asked for wisdom, God gave him wealth, riches, gave him everything he wanted because he did something that involved serving other people. Being wise is very important. I ask for wisdom every day. Be careful what you ask for, y'all. You ask God for wisdom and strength, he gonna put you, he gonna put you in some situations. Oh, you wanna be strong, huh? And so I almost stopped asking God for strength because I heard God say, oh, you want to be strong, huh? Ask God for patience. Oh, you want to be patient, huh? Don't ask God for them seven spirits. Don't fill me. God, fill me with the seven spirits of you, the spirit of him, the wisdom of him, the understanding of him, the might, which is the strength of him, the counsel of him, the understanding of the knowledge. I think that's the last one I missed. And the fear of him. Ask God to fill you with the seven spirits. You will be filled with a little bit of long suffering. I tell you that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, back to Solomon. Real quick though, but Solomon really sought validation from the women. Solomon had about 700 wives and 300 concubines. Solomon was connected with and tied to 1,000 women. And he had kids with them. Not all 1,000. I pray to God. Now I got to look that up. That's on my search list as soon as I say goodbye and subscribe. Actually, go ahead and subscribe right now. I'll wait. What they say? What did she say? I'll wait. All right, we're back. but Solomon's validation was in the women that he chose. And because he chose to marry foreign women, which God was against, because if you marry foreign women who don't believe in me, your God, and believe in all these other false gods, they will teach their kids to believe in those same false gods. So because he saw validation from the women he were married and messing with, he gave them what they wanted, and they wanted to praise their God still. So he built altars for their false gods. How can you give your all to your God if you're building altars for people to praise, for them to praise their gods, false gods? That's not the God, the one and only true God. You're saying that it's okay to not surrender and bow down to you. That's how he sought validation. And the consequence of Solomon seeking validation was having a son and his son not knowing God. Rehoboam, look, don't get me started with the names. Don't even get me started with I'm gonna put them on the screen, but don't get me started with the names, y'all. They be a little difficile. Difficile. Okay, but Rehoboam took the throne after Solomon. He did not believe in God. He was supposed to seek wisdom from the elderly on how to please the people of Israel, because Solomon put a heavy tax on them in order to gain more wealth and do more projects and build more false altars and to do all these things. Solomon taxed his people to get more money to please the women and himself too, of course. He put a heavy tax on his people. His son came in. He asked the elderly what he should do. They said you should lighten the load on them. And then Rehoboam went to his people, his peers, people in his age range. Homeboy, what should I do? You the king, bro. You the king. Make it heavier on them. Y'all see how I uncrossed my legs? I was finna get out of here. Make it heavy on them. You the king. Show them how tough you are. Show them how strong you are. You right, bro, that knows nothing, has no wisdom, has nothing at all, is not king, don't know God like I don't. You're absolutely right. Sorry, elders whose wives been with my grandpa, been with my dad. Y'all wise, y'all might know something. But I know nothing, so let me show y'all how much I don't know. And that's the reason why Israel split into two, and now it was Israel and Judah. Solomon's consequences affected the promised land. The promised land was split into two. Now it's two different kings, Jeroboam and then Rehoboam. Yeah, we're not talking about the names. Don't ever get on my podcast and repeat these names. We all need to be. And the thing is, I would literally Google search, how do you say this person's name? It's so many names in there. Hey, I had to just stop. I had to just sound it out. I had to just sound it out. But so the consequences of Solomon was basically he was the reason why that it was split. You can blame his son, but if his son knew God, would that have happened? We would never know. The amount of unnecessary hardships I've been through have been due to me seeking validation from people and not God. My calendar just said, yup. But for real, I was always trying to prove my worth. I was trying to prove that I was a good girlfriend at one point, prove that I was a good friend, a great sister, a great daughter, a great mother. I did a lot of trying to prove that I was a great mother at one point as well. And I tried so hard to get people to understand and see my worth that I lost myself. And I'm so thankful that I have found God. I would not be able to sit here with a smile on my face, just close my business, just doing all these different things if I didn't know God. Yes, I still cry to this day. Yes, I'm still seeking my purpose and what God has for me. But as long as I'm doing what I feel is right in God's will, every day that I wake up in the morning, I know that I am a step closer. I'd rather walk to my purpose than get in a car, turn on GPS, and I'm going the wrong way. I'd rather get there step by step than by 4 wheels. If it means me getting there correctly on time in God's will. So seeking validation is no longer a thing for me. I'm not saying y'all might not see me in no pieces. Hold up. Wait. I'm not saying y'all might not see me in no pieces, because I still do like doing certain things. I still do like having certain items, but I have realized that that is not the end all be all. And I would not be purchasing those things to show people that I have it. I would not be doing an unboxing for a company that don't pay me to show somebody else the bag I just bought, the shoes I just bought. I have been accustomed to liking nice things because of me seeking validation. But I would not make it a priority to get a new outfit when I got stuff in my closet because I wore it already. Because I got a picture in it already. Because if I didn't have Instagram for people to prove that I had a picture of that, would I care? Would I care? I don't care now. Like this outfit, I'm gonna put this on and put it on for church tomorrow. It's still clean. I'm only sitting in it. Don't judge me. Because we are human, all of us fall victim to seeking validation at some point in our lives. You may have even grown from it, but that doesn't mean that it still won't possibly happen. But at least now it'll be easier to check and easier for you to pray about it so you can remove that type of idolization from you. So if you are someone who idolize validation and have been seeking it, been seeking that love, been seeking those connections, just know if it's God ordained, you wouldn't have to seek it. If you have to do certain things or wear certain things to be around certain people or in certain areas or certain clubs, it's not the one for you. And what I've learned, don't let God show you the hard way. Don't let God show you the hard way that what you want is not what you need. Because it hurts 10 times worse when you stay in something that you know you are seeking validation to be in. Work it out, Jesus can work it out. Work it out, Jesus can work it out. When I got back home. And when I got back home. This is called the Work It Out segment. This segment is basically me putting y'all to the test, me giving y'all a task. I don't care if you out of school or you in school, you gonna get a test when you come to this podcast because this is how you turn your life around. I don't want you to just hear this video and then next you know it's in one ear and out the other. I want every time you take a picture of a meal or a bill, a gift or a present, you look at it and be like, why am I posting this? So that is what our task is going to be for the next 30 to 60 days. You pick. I'm not going to force it down your throat. God gave us free will. I'm giving you free will, okay? The task is to make decisions as if you did not have a social media platform. Every decision you make, if you have to take a picture of the decision, if you have to tell social media about that decision, will you still enjoy the decision you made? Before you buy that purse, are you going to take a picture of it and post it on your story to show people that you just bought a new purse, new shoes, new whatever? Before you buy someone else a birthday present, are you going to take a picture of that birthday present or hope that person takes a picture of the birthday present you got them and tag you so people can show that you got motion, that you got your life in order? If you get a new car within these next 30 to 60 days, if you have been praying for a new car, I don't know, God just put it in my spirit to tell you it's on the way. I've never really done that. Never been someone to be like, God told you it's your time. I've never been really want to do that, but God just said that. Like, so if you've been waiting for a car or thinking about a car, I pray to God that you get it. Blessings to anybody that's watching that just felt that. I just felt that. Thanks, God. Period. But don't post it. Would you post your 2003 Buick with the ceiling missing and peeling? Yeah, with the radio messed up that you got to just put your speaker on top of your car so you can hear some music as you drive. Would you post that? Then don't post that Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Just don't post your new car. Because why? To show people that you got a new car. It's not going to make people think more of you. You just got a little bit more money to do something nice for yourself. Start celebrating the wins and the things you do with God. Because the things that you buy are not a gift from the people that is seeing it. You can be like, oh, it's inspiration. It's inspiration. It's not. You're inspiring people to make more money, to spend their money on things that you have. Materialism should not be inspiration. The amount that you serve should. How many people do this person help? Think about all of the people that you like to watch on social media. What is this person doing that is helping other people? Or is this person just flashing their life around, giving people false hope that one day it will be them? Don't be obsessed over someone else's blessings. And sometimes could be someone else's curse. So that's the task. For 30 to 60 days. Let's just say 30, because I feel like y'all like, I don't know, which is problematic. If you feeling like, to what I said, it's probably because you idolize validation. I'm just saying, Pooh. Don't be mad at me. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this video. I really, really hope it blessed you. I really, really hope it helped you turn your life around, because this is the Turn Your Life Around podcast. I don't want you to do nothing else but feel yourself. Did y'all see me just hit myself in the face with the microphone? Sorry. Look at me trying to, feel her, the podcast. Boop. Anyways, if you know anyone that's struggling with validation, whether it's from family or spouse or children or friends, if you know anybody struggling with idolizing validation and seeking their worth from people and not God, I would love for y'all to send them this video. When y'all send them this video, don't be like, I'm sending this to you because you are people pleasing. Don't send it like that. I feel like this video will be good for you to watch. It helped me. I feel like we share some of the same qualities. Here this video goes to help you as well. That's how you do it. They're going to get to the end of the video. Hold on. This is exactly what they said to me. And yes, you're here. You're welcome. Thank them. We both love you. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all enjoyed this episode and that it brought you a little closer to God if you were not before. Because when you seek validation from God, He sends blessings to you. Remember, we keep the faith, we do the work, and we trust the process, no matter how long or short they be. Whew. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Feel Heard, the podcast. And even though I will be here every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, I have to say that slow, y'all. Central Standard Time. That's how, look. Even though we will be here every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, turn on your post notifications right now. I'll wait. There we go. I heard a few of them. All right. They coming in. Thank you. Especially you. A lot of people didn't even go ahead and turn on their post notifications and subscribe, but you did. So thank you so much. And next time, I cannot wait to be right back here so we can continue this journey of turning our life around. See you next week. Bye.
What will Jesus' caption be? Take a break and follow me.